Imagine time as a vast river that flows endlessly in both directions. You are floating upon it, a being made of atoms forged in stars, powered by energy as old as existence itself. This is the story of that existence, where it may have begun, how it evolved, and what it all might mean. Human curiosity has always turned upward, to the sky, to the unknown, to the origins of everything. Yet the further we look, the deeper the mystery becomes. Scientists and philosophers have long searched for a first cause, a single moment when something emerged from nothing. Today, the Big Bang Theory stands as the leading scientific model of the universe's origin. Around 13.8 billion years ago, the cosmos began expanding from an unimaginably hot and dense state. Space itself stretched, matter cooled, and light broke free from darkness. But that explanation, for all its elegance, is still incomplete. It describes how, but not why. Many traditions, ancient and modern, see creation as the work of a higher power, a divine architect whose act or intention set reality into motion. To them, the birth of the universe is not a random event, but a deliberate awakening infused with consciousness or purpose. Perhaps the truth lies not in choosing one story over another, but in seeing how both speak to our eternal question, how did everything begin? However we define that first spark, Big Bang or divine word, it unleashed the raw fabric of physical law. Energy condensed into particles, particles joined into atoms, and gravity began its quiet work as the sculptor of worlds. In those early epochs, the universe was a furnace of fusion. The first stars ignited like cosmic lighthouses, forming structure inside a sea of chaos. From their burning hearts came the heavy elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, that would one day make planets, oceans, and living beings. Each explosion, each collapse, was another stroke in a grand tapestry. The universe was teaching itself how to build. Some see this as pure physics, blind forces obeying natural law. Others see the unmistakable signature of design, mathematical precision so improbably balanced that randomness alone feels inadequate. Either way, we can agree, creation, whatever its origin, is astonishingly self-organized. Over billions of years, gravity arranged matter into stunning hierarchies, clusters, galaxies, and filaments of light that span the visible universe. Within one modest spiral arm of an ordinary galaxy, a young star kindled about 5 billion years ago. Around it, dust swirled and merged, forming worlds. One of them would later be called Earth. At first, our planet was molten and barren, wrapped in toxic gases and fire, yet somehow, within its storms, chemistry turned into biology. Single-celled organisms appeared, multiplied, and slowly began to sculpt the planet itself, exhaling oxygen, paving the way for complex life. No divine fingerprint can be proven, and no scientific account is fully complete. But the emergence of life, matter that knows itself, bridges the two narratives in wonder. Perhaps the laws of nature and the intentions of a creator are not rivals, but reflections of one truth viewed through different eyes. Across hundreds of millions of years, life diversified. Plants learned to draw energy from light. Creatures adapted to land, sea, and air. Catastrophes came and went. Asteroid impacts, volcanic winters, mass extinctions, and each time life endured, evolving anew. Eventually came awareness. From families of primates, a species emerged that could not only survive, but imagine. We shaped tools, built stories, and asked questions no other animal dared. Why are we here? What came before us? Is there anything beyond the stars? In every culture on Earth, those questions birthed both science and faith. The scientist studies patterns in the heavens. The believer searches for meaning behind them. Both look up, both feel awe, and both confront the same infinite silence. Consciousness gave the universe a voice, a way to observe itself and to wonder at its own origin. If we compress all of cosmic history into a single year, the universe would begin in January, and humans would appear seconds before midnight on December 31st. In that blink, we've learned to measure starlight, decode DNA, split atoms, and most miraculously, remember. We carry the memory of the cosmos within us. Every element in your body once lived inside a star. Every breath echoes that first explosion or creation, depending on the lens you choose. Perhaps that duality itself is sacred, the physics of expansion, the poetry of meaning. Existence holds both. Today, as telescopes capture galaxies whose light began its journey billions of years ago, our picture of the universe grows sharper and stranger. Scientists speak of dark matter and dark energy, mysterious components that compose roughly 95% of all that exists, yet remain invisible. To believers, that unseen reality can sound familiar, evidence that the visible world is only part of a far greater whole. Cosmologists propose multiverses, dimensions, quantum fluctuations. Theologians speak of divine presence, layered realms, and purposeful creation. Neither side can claim final truth. Both pursue understanding. What we call science and what we call faith may simply be different dialects of curiosity, the universe translating itself through human minds. Our sun, generous but finite, will one day exhaust its fuel. In roughly 5 billion years, it will swell into a red giant, swallowing the inner planets before fading into a white dwarf ember. By then, humanity, or whatever evolves from us, may have crossed the galaxies, carrying our stories and genes into new worlds. But far beyond that, time stretches onward. The galaxies themselves drift apart as space continues to expand. Some theories predict a heat death, a future where all energy evens out, leaving only darkness and decay. Others imagine a cyclic cosmos that renews itself eternally, or perhaps the guiding will of a creator who breathes new life into the ashes. In every possibility, creation does not end, it transforms. What existed before the universe, or before the moment we call its beginning, may never be known. Our instruments can measure only so far, and our minds are shaped by time itself. For all our equations and telescopes, existence still whispers secrets beyond reach. But mysteries are not failures of comprehension, they are invitations. They remind us that knowledge and wonder are partners. The more we learn, the more profound the questions become. Whether your faith is in particles or in purpose, both paths point towards something immense, perhaps infinite, that our language can barely contain. After 13.8 billion years, or an eternity depending on the worldview, the universe has produced you, watching this, thinking about all of it. You are a node of awareness in a cosmic web of potential. You are both tiny and transcendent. From this improbable vantage, we have mapped continents, deciphered the genome, and peered into galaxies billions of light years away. Yet our hearts still seek meaning beyond measurement. Science has given us mechanisms. Faith offers significance. But purpose must be lived, not merely explained. Each discovery we make does not shrink the divine, it deepens it. Each revelation of physics becomes another verse in the poetry of creation. So where does the universe truly come from? Was it a quantum fluctuation, a spark of divine intention, or something we have yet to imagine? We may never find a single answer acceptable to all, but perhaps we don't need one. What unites us is awe, the felt recognition that something exists rather than nothing. In that feeling, scientist and mystic meet. Call it the Big Bang, or call it the first light, call it God, or call it physics. The names differ. The mystery endures. If existence began in unimaginable brilliance, it continues today with you. Every heartbeat is a reminder that the same cosmic energy still flows through creation. Every breath renews the connection between body and star. As we look forward toward new Earths, new technologies, new understandings, we honor both paths, the measurable and the meaningful. Perhaps the universe doesn't ask us to pick sides. Perhaps it wants only to be seen, contemplated and cherished, for science verifies what faith intuits, that being alive already defies probability. When the last light fades and silence falls over space, another story may begin. Maybe another cosmos will bloom, or an eternal consciousness will dream again. Until then, we journey on, tiny sparks traveling the infinite, searching, learning, and creating in turn. The story of existence is not only about where everything came from, it's about what everything means. And somewhere between the equations of physicists and the prayers of believers, the universe itself listens and continues to unfold.